Let's do a full face of makeup that is viral or best selling on TikTok right now. I have a full basket here. I think I'm only missing one thing that I couldn't actually find. I did try to pick things that are within the top 10 of each category on TikTok Shop. So we'll see, but we're going to start with sunscreen. This is the Madagascar Centella Hyaluronic Water Fit Sun Serum UV Broad Spectrum SPF 50. It is rainy and gross outside today, but you always want to make sure that you are doing your sunscreen. I believe this was like top 10, maybe like top 5 best selling on TikTok Shop. So we shall see if it is good for a reason. Obviously, I did not buy anything extra for this video, so I'm just using what I have. So some of these things may be a little bit farther down the list than top 10, but I did try to get as high up on the list as possible for each category. For foundation, we're going in with the Tier AI Filter Cushion Foundation. I have this in the shade 11 Rosy because Korean cushion foundations actually are usually way too light for me if I get the lightest shade, which is kind of crazy because in American foundations, I'm usually the lightest shade. And of course, I just patted a hair. But I am pretty light. So you can see this matches my neck. It doesn't match my actual face, but that's fine. And I'm just going in with like a light layer. I'm not doing a heavy-handed layer. My boyfriend and I are going to Costco after this. Once he wakes up, he's still working nights, so I'm trying to let him sleep in a little bit. I think I just heard him wake up though, so we'll have to be fast. I do like to press my foundation into my hairline, and then I just take a makeup wipe later and kind of like wipe it off the hair, but that way it gets rid of that like line that shows up quite a bit. All right, then I'm gonna put a little bit heavier on my chin and my cheeks where my redness is. All right, and there's the foundation. It actually looks really nice. It sits really naturally on the skin. And like I said, it matches my neck. So it looks a little light right now, but we'll put some bronzer and stuff on. Okay, so for concealer, Tier wins again. They have the dual-ended concealer is like number 3 or number 4 on the list. This is a little yellow for my skin tone, so I'm not going to use too much. What shade do I have? I have shade 2C, so I feel like it should be a lot lighter than this. I feel like this should be like way cooler of a tone, especially because of the tone of the foundations, but I think it does look all right, and it does cover my dark spots, so we're just gonna go with that. And then they do have the liquid foundation, or the liquid concealer on the other side, but again, it is also kind of yellow for a rosy complexion, so we're just gonna put a little bit on my cheeks to get rid of this redness, a little bit on my forehead. But I think I might need a different shade. I don't even know if they have a different shade. That is really yellow. I think I'm gonna actually cover it up with the cushion foundation because that is way too yellow for my liking. And I think it honestly looked fine before the concealer, so that one is a flop for me, if I'm gonna be honest. So it's kind of crazy that it's like a top seller and it's so yellow. Use the brush and just dip into the cushion foundation, get a little bit higher coverage in those spots where I want some coverage that isn't yellow. All right, well, that concealer was a fail for me. I know everyone loves this. I don't get it. I actually just removed some of the stuff from under my eye because it was making it even worse. And like you can see really close up, I have really fine lines, and that was just making me look like the Crypt Keeper. And I already have like clinging and stuff to dry patches as it is, so we have to be aware of that. Liquid bronzer, we're actually going to go in with the ColourPop, the new liquid bronzer. This is in the shade West Beach. I purchased this. I have not used it yet. I'm hoping that it will help with some of the dry spots around the edges of my face because it's usually what I like to do with liquid products. And I don't know how pigmented this is, so I don't know if this was a mistake. I'm going to go in with my M242, which is my usual liquid bronzer brush. And for the concealer, in case you guys were wondering, that was the M132. I really like the tone on this. It's more of like a neutral undertone and not too warm. I think I put too much on my forehead, but we'll see. Just want to try to get this blended in before it dries down and you can see the dots on my face. I think that blended out really nice. And then I want to make sure I get it into my hairline as well. I want to really get that in there. And then I'm just going to bring it down my forehead a little bit so I don't have that line. Okay, I think I did put too much on, so that's on me, but otherwise I think it looks pretty good. And I'm just going to take what's on the brush and put a little bit down the side of my nose. I am rushing because I want Costco hot dog. My other option for bronzer was the Sun and Sculpt, but I've used that in so many videos recently that I figured maybe I should give it a little bit of a rest. For blush, instead of a liquid blush, we're gonna go in with a cream blush. I know everyone's been really excited about this Digicam shade because it's like a nice like lavender color. This is the Morphe M204 brush, and I'm just gonna put some right on the brush, and we're gonna go in on the face. This translates to like a really nice soft sort of pinky purple. I'm gonna bring this up across my nose. I'm gonna go in again this side, and the powder is gonna take this color down, so I'm not too worried about blush blindness or anything right now because the powder will make it not be so intense. I'm gonna put a tiny bit on the top of my forehead, and I'm just rubbing it on the back of my hand and then putting it in places that I would want it to be. And then again, I'm just rubbing it into my hairline so you can't see, because my hair is so thin and fine. You can always like see. Okay, I'm gonna get right up to my lower lash line and my under eye. So it has like a nice sort of ombre effect there. And I'll put a little bit more on the tip of my nose. I think that makes me look fresh-faced and young, youthful. And I don't care what people think of me, so. Next, I'm going to set this down with powder. We're going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection powder. This is the pink one. This is the one that Shelby Ann uses. I use a small paddle brush from Morphe. I'm not going to go in too hard because I have a lot of dryness, especially under my eyes. And I just don't want to use too much. This is the M163. So we're just going to go in very gently. I'm not caking it on under my eyes. I can't do kind of what Shelby Ann does anymore because it will give me really fine lines. But look at the blur on this. This is such a pretty powder. It looks so stunning. And then I know it's a pink powder, and realistically you'd probably use a translucent powder all over your face, but because I'm pink, pink to me is translucent at this point. I just want to take and set everything. And I'm really liking how it's not making everything crease. I think I'd go in a little bit. I'm just putting it everywhere, like I said. You see how it took the blush down? Not so crazy. I think that looks really good. I'm really liking this Tear Cushion foundation. All right, now we're gonna do powder bronzer. Just a little bit. I'm not gonna do too much. I'm taking the Morphe M244 and just putting a tiny bit on each side. I'm using the CoverGirl Skin Enhancer, the True Blend. This is in shade Honey Bun. This is the one that I've been using in all of my recent videos. It looks so pretty and is so stunning on the skin. For powder blush, I'm taking the M201, and this one shocked me on the like bestseller list. The Kaleidos mono blushes are trending. I think they're like top 10, which shocked me. I love the Kaleidos products. They are so pretty. Look at that baby pink. After I just got done saying that it wasn't gonna be so pink, I'm adding more pink. I'm just gonna rub that. I may put a little powder on that just to take that tone down a little bit. So stunning. These are so pretty. I'm gonna go in with the Luminous Finishing Powder from CoverGirl. Again, I don't know why everyone's hating on this. I really like it. I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush because I want to like take this down a little bit. Again, we're gonna do the M162, and this is just gonna kind of melt everything together, make these blurred and fabulous. I have not had any issues with this oxidizing on me. I don't know why everyone else has and I haven't, but it's cool. But this is still, I think, a top 10 seller on TikTok Shop, so I grabbed it for this video. I think this looks really pretty. For highlight, I'm going in with the ColourPop Platinum Aura Super Shock highlighter, and I'm going to use the Morphe 164. This is just a powder brush, but I'm going to use it for the highlighter just because I don't think I have a Morphe like powder highlighter brush specifically for powder highlighter. And that's fine. This is a very glittery highlighter. I didn't have any other ones on the list. I think this was like sub 20, but I don't think it was in the top 10. But it is very pretty. It's on my nose. It's very glittery. My chinny chin and a little bit on my forehead. I don't want to do too much because it's like straight up glitter. And like I said, we're going to Costco. All right, and of course, one of the top sellers right now on TikTok Shop is a variety of ColourPop items for your eyes. So there are ColourPop eyeshadow sticks, the eyeshadow jelly thing, and the eyeliners. So I think I'm just gonna go with this eyeshadow stick and this one in matte, and we'll do like a little look with the two of these, and then I'm gonna put this Make a Toast on top. I'm gonna use the Morphe M333 as a bit of a blender. So this is the lighter of the two sticks that I showed you. And keep it. This is the shade So Into You, which is a metallic. And I'm just going to blend this up and out. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more of a dense blender. Just something messy like that. Costco doesn't care. Costco doesn't judge. I get it all over my lid. I think that's fine. You can be as messy as you like. And we'll go in with this again. It's a bit too big for what I'm doing, but I am rushing. Thinking about those hot dogs. And then I'm just gonna blend it out a little bit. And up into my brow bone. Then I'm gonna take this eye detail brush, this 383 from Morphe. And I'm gonna use this as kind of like a little bit of a liner slash corner smudge. I do have a black I think I brought in here, or like a darker brown I could use, but I think this is fine. I'm just gonna bring that underneath the eye, and same on this side. I like the redness. Let me get a clean fluffy brush. What is this? This is a concealer brush, but I don't think it really matters as long as it's fluffy and kind of clean. You can like clean up and remove some of the pigment from underneath your eyes. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean this up with a little bit of concealer, or a little bit of the foundation actually. Probably should have done my eyes first, but that's okay. All right, honestly, I don't really care. I think I'll just blend this one out to be a bit bigger so they match. All right, I think that looks good. And then we'll put on an eyeliner. I forgot mascara. Oh, I forgot. We're gonna do the taupe. We're gonna do Make a Toast. This is what that looks like. And I'm just gonna put that all over the lid and then pat it in with my finger. And then I'm going to use that same fluffy brush, just kind of even it out on the edges, kind of feather it. Doesn't have to be exact. Nobody's grading you. And then I think I'm gonna go in with this blue. It's more like a stone gray, but this was one of the eyeliners that were trending from ColourPop. And we'll smoke it out. And I'm not gonna do a top one. We're just gonna leave bottom. I have the eye packer brush, which I'm probably not supposed to use for this, but I'm going to anyway. This is the M303. I don't have any of the setting sprays that were in the list, so I'm just gonna go in with this mini Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter Spray that I've never used before. The top one was the L'Oreal, the red bottle. I don't have it. I have it, but I don't know where it is, so we're gonna go in with this one. Okay, mascara. This one was like the number 6 top seller. The, what is this, Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara. Wow. And see, I really did a number on my nose there. I'm just gonna leave it though. I want Costco hot dogs. Here's a little tip when you do that. Just leave it, let it dry, and then you can just flake it right off. And for lips, I'm gonna go in with the Laka Lip Kit. Laka, I don't know how you say it, but the kit comes with, I haven't even opened this yet. It comes with a peel off lip mask, but I'm in a bit of a rush, so we are not going to do the lip mask, but it does come with one. This is a top seller as well on TikTok Shop. You leave it on for 10 minutes and then you peel it off and then you can put your stuff on, but I'm going to go in with the liner and the Fruity Glam Tint. I have the liner in shade 6 Mauve Whisper. Well, I 100% think these companies have lost the plot when it comes to mauve, because this is like a brick red. Mauve is purple, not brick red, but this is a pretty color. And I'm just gonna smudge it. And then I'm going in with the Dewy Tint. This is in shade 102. Oh, it smells like apples. I'm so bad at lips. Why am I so bad at lips? I don't know. All right, I had to clean up a little bit around the lips because for some reason I put lips on like a toddler, but this is a full face of bestsellers on TikTok Shop. What do you guys think? Would you buy any of these products? Do any of these things look like they'd work for you? Drop me a comment down below and let me know.